curious butterflies.
You mean bread and butterflies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Why do I have a pen? Good question. So, to be honest, I filmed this whole video and the whole thing was out of focus. I kind of want to die. That was so annoying. It was like a 20-minute video. Whole thing out of focus. Anyway, so keep that in mind when I'm doing this. This is my second time filming it, and I'm just trying to bring the same energy that I had the first time around. This video is going to be all about IUDs, and I wanted to do this video because before I got mine, I was like, wanted to know what it was like, tips for afterwards, whatever. And when I went to search online, all I saw were like horror stories, and yeah, so that was terrifying. Obviously, I did not watch the videos because I did not want to know horror stories. So I am here to tell you that it is not always, because I'm sure like for some people it is horrible, but for me I had a wonderful, amazing, great experience, and I'm gonna tell you about my experience, what happened afterwards, some tips, why I got it, all that stuff. I have it all in a note section. Let me pull it up again on my phone. Background, I have the Kyleena. I can insert a picture of what it looks like if I find one here. And I got mine around, I would say around a year ago, but like 2 weeks ago, a year ago, like end of November. I should have just said that. I got it around end of November last year, and I've had it for just over a year. So this is my experience. A little background on IUDs. This is from the Planned Parenthood website, but it says that hormonal IUDs prevent pregnancy by keeping sperm cells away from your eggs. If sperm can't make it to an egg, then pregnancy cannot happen. Okay, and hormones and IUDs prevent pregnancy in two ways. One, by making the mucus on your cervix thicker. This mucus blocks sperm so it can't get to your egg. And secondly, the hormones in the IUD can also stop eggs from leaving your ovaries, called ovulation, which means there's no egg for sperm, and no egg means no pregnancy. This is on the website again. It says one of the awesome things about IUDs is that they last for years, but they're not permanent. If you decide that you want to get pregnant, or if you don't want to have an IUD anymore, your doctor or nurse can take it out, and then after you get it taken out, it goes back to, or your fertility goes back to whatever is normal fertility. Anyway, so that's great, and there's a few reasons why I got it. I'm just going to try and go over it quickly. First one was because in Ontario we have something called OHIP, and they were making changes to OHIP. It was going to become OHIP Plus, and basically some stuff was changing, and like when you turn 25, people over the age of 24 with private coverage wouldn't be eligible for free prescriptions through OHIP Plus. And honestly, I wasn't really sure, but I heard before that this came out that it could affect birth control, IUDs, and stuff like that. So just to be safe, I was thinking, you know, I might as well get it now, a year ago by now. And then I don't have to worry about if I'm not covered, and I might as well, because it was something I was thinking about, so I was like, now would be a good time because it would be free. Also, I didn't want children, so I wanted a birth control method to not have children. Well, I don't want children now. Also, I'm horrible at remembering to take a pill, so that's another reason why I wanted it. Yes, I was on birth control before, but I just could never remember to take my pill. I tried setting it for every morning, but then, you know, some mornings I would sleep in. Sometimes I had it like in the evening, then I would forget. If I had it at night, you know, maybe I was doing something else and I forgot. So it was just like not a good situation, and obviously that's really bad because you want to be taking it regularly at the same time. And I knew that, but it was hard. Also, from what I read, IUDs are obviously other than abstinence, IUDs are the most effective form of birth control. And I talked to my doctor about all the different options, and this one just seemed the best. Yeah, I didn't want the patch or the implant. I know the patch can fall off, and the implant kind of freaked me out. And I also did not want the injections. That's another option. I just like couldn't be bothered to remember to go back to my doctor the same day every single month to get the injection, because it kind of like gets in the way of your life. If you want to travel or something like that, then could be a problem. Also with the IUD that I chose, so the Kyleena, the hormones are centralized around your uterus and they're not going around in your bloodstream. So before, when I would be taking the pill, the hormones would be in my bloodstream, and this way they're not. And another reason why I wanted it is because I still wanted something that could potentially help with my period cramps, just like alleviate them or something, because I used to have the worst period cramps. Like first and second day were so horrible for me. I would literally be like curled up in a ball in pain. Sometimes I would have to leave work early because I just like could not be sitting at my desk. I was in so much pain. Like it was not a good look, and I was like, no, I need something. Yeah, so how to get it? First of all, you need to do a consultation with your doctor. Obviously talk to your doctor about this. You can go over all your different options, what's best for you. And then after your consultation, you'll get a prescription, you'll pick it up from the pharmacy, you'll get a giant box. But the real thing is only like super tiny, but the rest of the box is basically just the string because they don't want to bend it, so they just keep it straight, and that's why it looks scary and big, but it's not. And I actually like took a couple months between getting my prescription and getting the actual thing because I was kind of nervous about it, and I still like wasn't 100% set on it. Again, I'd heard some scary stories, so I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And then in the end, obviously I did it, but yes. And then in the meantime, between the prescription of getting it and then the actual procedure, I was just on birth control. I'm trying to remember what it's called, which one I was on. Lolo? I think it was that one, Lolo. Honestly, that one actually really fucked with my emotions, I will say. Like, that gave me some crazy emotional outbursts. So I'm really glad that that is all behind me. When I think back, it's just like funny, but like kind of cringy too, thinking about like the smallest thing would just like set me off so much. And it was just my hormones were going crazy with that. So yes, I'm pretty sure you actually have to be on birth control before you can get it to make sure that you're not pregnant. I'm not 100% sure though, because I'm pretty sure I took a pregnancy test before I bought my thing. Like I remember I had to pee into a cup, and I think it was for a pregnancy test. Anyways, speaking of that, you also will likely get a pap test too at the same time. I got that just to make sure it was all good. So yes, and then before the actual thing, I took 1 extra strength Tylenol. And to note, I also did not take anything to like open my cervix, and I also was not on my period. Oh, also I didn't have a period because I was on birth control, and that made my period go away. So I actually hadn't had a period in like maybe 3 months or something before I got the thing. But yeah, that's good to know, because, or that's like, that might be important to know, because I know for me, like some people that I knew took something before to like open their cervix, or were told that they had to be on their period, and because I didn't have either of those, I was terrified. But honestly, it was all fine. You don't need that. Yeah, I wasn't on my period and I didn't have that thing to open my cervix. So there are some risks to know before you get it. I remember my doctor explained these to me. So number 1 is depression. If you normally get depressed, I would say like if you have depression, then it could potentially make your depression worse. But luckily I did not experience this. I think I've been like the same. That was one thing I was worried about, but luckily it was all good. I haven't, okay, I'm not gonna say I haven't, but you know, it was because of external circumstances, nothing to do with this thing in here. Also, weight gain was something that she told me about. Like some people can gain weight from this. Luckily, I didn't gain any weight, so that was good. And also acne. Luckily, I didn't experience any acne. I know some people can break out after. Maybe it's because mine's like really low hormones, I'm not sure. But I didn't have any breakouts afterwards, so that was good. And I don't have acne now, so that's good. Okay. Okay, moving on. 7 minutes, okay. Talking about the pain. This was the thing I was most scared about, so maybe this is like what you're most interested in. My doctor explained to me that the pain basically depends on the shape of your uterus. So if your uterus is curved, it's gonna hurt more. I guess because it's like harder to put in, not really sure. But lucky for me, mine was straight, so I didn't have like that horrible pain that some people have. So that was good. The actual pain of the whole thing only lasted like a few seconds, and I would say like for the most part, it's just like uncomfortable. And for me, that was like comparable to a pap test, if you've had those. Yeah, it was about that, like comparable to that, because it's just like uncomfortable, and you know, like when they go to find your uterus and like check it out, like that really hurts. And that was almost the worst part, like might have honestly been the worst part for me, like that with the pressing. If you know, you know. But yeah, the actual thing to me just felt like a little pinch, and it hurt for like 5 seconds, and then it was good. One thing to help was that I asked my doctor to explain what she was doing throughout the whole thing. So she would tell me like, okay, I'm using this tool, or I'm gonna do this, and then she told me to like, okay, I'm about to insert it. And then she was like, okay, it's almost fully in, and then she told me, okay, you're gonna feel a pinch now, whatever. So that was great for me. I know some people maybe don't want to know, and if that works for you, then that's great, but for me, I like to know what's happening. And what else? Okay, afterwards, I'll say I had some light spotting that day, so if you're gonna get it, I would recommend bringing some panty liners. You probably don't need pads. Even if you don't have, okay, might seem gross, but even if you don't have spotting, they use like lubrication and stuff, so that's gonna start to like come out. So even if you don't have spotting, it's good to have panty liners when that stuff comes out. And from my memory, it's like dark, so it looks like period. And so I didn't even know what was what, but I do think I had a little bit of spotting after that. The first few hours afterwards, I would say like, I don't remember, maybe the first 3 hours, I can't really remember, I had horrible cramps. And you probably will too, and it's just your body like getting used to it, and honestly, I don't know, something's going on there, but it hurt really bad. So I would recommend that if you go, to get somebody to drive you so that you don't have to drive. I couldn't imagine having to drive. I also took that day off work, and I took the next day off work, but I didn't need to take the next day off work because I was pretty much fine after like a few hours after. But I would take the day of your actual thing off work, get somebody to drive you, and be forewarned that you're gonna have horrible period cramps after, but they'll go away after a few hours. I would just suggest like a hot pad, or Epsom salt, whatever. Actually, I don't remember what I did. Maybe you're not supposed to take a bath. I don't remember. Anyways, just put a little heat pad. What else? Okay, I didn't go to the gym or do any like intensive exercise for about a week. I'm pretty sure that's what my doctor recommended. But again, you don't want to like do anything too crazy. I remember being nervous the first time, like even though it was like a week later, I was doing crunches or something. I think it was crunches, sit-ups, and I was scared. I was like, oh my god, what if, you know, something comes out of me? But it was fine, and you'll be fine. You will, I think you'll just like know if something's wrong. From the horror stories, from the horror stories I have heard, you'll have a lot of blood. And then you just go to the doctor, and you know what, it's probably coming out. But you know, for me, that didn't happen. It was all good. Everything was great.
Okay, just one thing I wanted to add is that for like 5 days afterwards, I was pretty bloated, and it was one of those things where you can tell and you notice, but other people don't really notice. So that's just one thing that I think is important to add. It's not a really big deal, and honestly, like 3 days later, I still went out to a bar and I just wore pants that had like an elastic drawstring or something. So yes.
Again, afterwards I didn't have my period for about a year, and then around a year later, after my thing, I had a couple days of spotting, but honestly it was like super light spotting. It was a little random and I was like, WTF, but it's fine, it's totally normal. Some people get their periods back after a year. I just had 2 days of spotting, and then since then, so I think it's been, honestly I should have put it in my calendar but I didn't. I think it's been like about a month and I haven't had anything. So I mean, I'll keep you posted. Maybe I'll put something in the description box if I get any spotting again. But yeah, some people do get their period back, some people don't. For me, it was great. It was just amazing having a whole year with no period, because I didn't have any period cramps for a year, and that was just amazing. And if there wasn't, you know, a whole global pandemic and I could have traveled and like gone in the ocean and swimming, whatever, it would have been great to not have a period and like be totally chill in my bathing suit and not have to worry. Yes, sorry, that just reminded me. So after I got my IUD, like for Christmas, I donated bags and bags. I literally had so many bags of pads, tampons, panty liners, all that stuff. I donated all of it to like a women's shelter. So yeah, imagine my surprise. Like a month ago when I started having spotting, I was like, oh my god, I literally donated all of it. But anyways, we've been good since then, and I can just buy more, it's not a big deal. What else? Oh yeah, I didn't notice any side effects like weight gain, acne, or depression, so that's great. How much time do I have? 45 seconds? My camera only records for 20 minutes. Okay, so again, the pros are I don't have to remember to take a pill. It's amazing. I don't have to replace it for 4 years, now 3 years. I don't really know if I'm gonna get another one after this. I guess it depends like where I am in my life in 3 years. Like 28, not really sure I'll be ready for kids, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get another one. If I had to get another birth control thing, I would just do it again, because it's like such a short amount of pain for such a long amount of amazingness. Okay, well, I'm back now, it stopped, but here I am, still going strong. Yes, what was I saying? You don't, can you see me? I better not be out of focus. Okay, I think it's good. Okay, so the best things are that you don't have to think about it, you don't have to remember anything, you can't feel it, your partner can't feel it. Speaking of feeling it, there is a way that you can feel it if you want to make sure it's still there. I haven't done that, but I went to get an ultrasound, like, I can't really remember, maybe a couple months after I got it, and they told me that it was perfect, it was all good, so I haven't felt the need to, you know, what's that word? Bear down, something like that. You bear down and you can, there's a way to feel it. The other good thing is that it is 99.7% effective. So that's amazing. That's like a lot. Think about it, the other forms of birth control are not as effective, especially if you think about condoms and all the stuff that can go wrong there. So this was good. And yeah, that's all of my notes and stuff about my IUD experience. If you have any questions or anything, leave them down below in the questions. Leave them down below as a comment, and I will do my best to get back to you. Again, this is just like my own experience. I can't speak for anybody else, but I just want to let you know that I got it done and it's like the best thing I ever did. So yes, hopefully this video was helpful, and yeah, have a great day. Bye.